What's going on, everybody? Another edition of the 2023 version of the 30 to 1 MLB Countdown Team Previews brought to you by the Passball Show and JohnPielli.com. For the past 12 years, I've looked at the Vegas over-unders, come up and determined my own win total based off of prior seasons, the construction of the team, what each team has done in a given off season, and what's expected for the future. I've come up with a win total of each one of the 30 teams, ranked them in total from most to least, and then counted backwards from 30 to 1. Today I'm talking about a team formerly known as the Cleveland Indians. They are currently known as the Cleveland Guardians, which they've been since 2022. They were the Indians from 1915 to 1921. They were known as the Cleveland Naps from 1903 to 1914. The Cleveland Broncos, Bronchos, in 1902, and the Cleveland Blues in 1901. They were lucky enough to win the World Series in 1920. Kind of a short story on that. Ray Chapman, their shortstop, was hit in the head by a pitch thrown by Carl Mays. He died from injuries he sustained. They ended up winning the World Series that season, that year for him. They won it again in 1948, and since then, the Cleveland Ball Club has not won the World Series since 1948. That, if they were lucky enough to win it in 2023, that would be 75 years since Cleveland World Series championships. Their offseason was headed by the big signing of free agent first baseman designated hitter Josh Bell, which I thought from their perspective was a very good signing. One maybe I didn't expect them to go out there and do. Bell is a very good player, a middle of the order bat, certainly is going to help the Guardians out. Mike Zunino comes over as a free agent signing from Tampa Bay to be their starting catcher and kind of hold on to the role until their prospect Bo Naylor is ready. Austin Hedges, their incumbent catcher, has left to join the Pirates. Owen Miller, I believe, is in Milwaukee. Oscar Mercado, Nolan Jones, they're not around as well. But for the rest of the squad, the Cleveland Guardians return themselves pretty much the same. From a team that won 92 games, won the American League Central last year. And let's be real, as we came out of spring training, we're expecting Cleveland to be good. We're expecting the Guardians to be a competitive baseball team. Very few were expecting them to run away with the American League Central like they did. A lot of it had to do with their starting pitching, which we know for the last several years has been very good. Shane Bieber, Cal Quantrill, Adam Savali, Zach Plesac, Tristan McKenzie, who really is kind of coming into his own. Another guy that I like there, too, is Cody Morris, who saw a little bit last year towards the end of the season. If he is able to go out there and make 20 starts or become a stabling force in the bullpen, you're going to really value, he's going to provide a lot of value to this team. He could be a guy that goes 13-3 next year, and you could say, wow, he is a starter. And he's not going to be when the season starts because of the five that they have. Their bullpen's very solid, too. Emmanuel Clace, James Karinchak, who the last couple of years has looked really good. It's amazing how many his strikeout percentage as he just blows hitters away. Hentges, Morgan, Stephan, they've all done really good job. They were all very good last year for Terry Francona. And what I like about the Cleveland Ball Club is the fact that they have a Hall of Fame manager. So if there's somebody that's going to prepare a group of young players or a little bit older players to go out there and play baseball, Terry Francona is the dude. He brought Cleveland to the World Series in 2016. Of course, he won the 2 championships with the Boston Red Sox in 2004 and 2007. From an offensive perspective, Stephen Kwan was kind of a guy that made the team out of spring training last year, had a good spring. And how many times do you watch spring training and say, hey, a player looks good in spring training, maybe they're good enough to make the squad, but a couple months of the season go by and we kind of forget about him. We forget that he was on the Major League roster because he ain't there anymore. Stephen Kwan was kind of the contradiction of that. He proved that wrong. He was solid last year. He was an all-star type of player and is expected to lead off and play left field this year. Obviously, their star player is Jose Ramirez. He's one of the best players in all of baseball. They signed him to a long-term extension. The before-mentioned Bell, Oscar Gonzalez, I look at him over the last couple of years. He's hit 30 home runs in the minors. I think he could kind of groove himself into that. Andres Jimenez and Ahmed Rosario, who both came over in the Francisco Lindor trade, are going to be their double play combination in tandem. Josh Naylor plays first base. Zunino will catch. And Miles Straw, who is a very good defensive outfielder and runs like the wind, is playing in center field. And the reason that works is obviously the new rules regarding pitchers being able to throw to first base should open up the lanes for more stolen bases. And I think Miles Straw could see his 20 or something stolen bases go up to about 40. And they got several guys in this lineup, Rosario, Ramirez, Jimenez, guys that can run a little bit. Even Stephen Kwan could go out there and steal 20, 25 bases. I would expect if the Guardians are going to be good this season, that they're going to double the amount of stolen bases that they have. They have limited power. Bell kind of brings a little more to it. Ramirez, Gonzalez, a little bit of Josh Naylor, and Ahmed Rosario. In regards to their minor league system, I look at Daniel Espino, the 2029 number 24 overall pick in the draft, had 152 strikeouts in less than 92 innings. If he's ready to come up in the majors, it's another in a series of Cleveland arms that come in there and get the job done. Gavin Williams was their 2021 first-round draft pick, number 23 overall. He had 149 Ks and 115 strikeouts in the minor leagues. George Valera is an outfielder, drove in some runs, scored some runs, and hit 24 home runs in the minor leagues. Bo Naylor, the before-mentioned catcher that at some point is going to take over as the Guardians starter, hit 21 home runs and had an 889 OPS in the minors. Tanner Bibby was the fifth-round draft pick in 2021. Last year, he had 167 strikeouts and less than 132 innings pitched. So it looks like from a front office perspective, they're interested in bringing in lively arms that can strike hitters out. And it seems like there's more on the way in regards to just guys that are going to blow hitters away. And I think that bodes the best for Cleveland if I was going to expect them to go out there and compete for a division title this year. I think they can. I just think they got a little more competition this year. I think Minnesota is better than they were last year. And I think the expectations of the Guardians, now they're going to be expected to win a division. And I think that they're in for a little bit of a letdown. Now, I got them finishing at 82-80, 15th overall, best record in Major League Baseball, the third team out, as there's 12 teams that are going to be in. So it's going to be a competitive season. I expect them to go as far as their pitching will take them. And, you know, this is a team that if they did make the playoffs and made a run and went out there and broke that 75-year drought and won the World Series, I wouldn't act shocked. But I look at them and, you know, baseball is baseball. We can't have the same replay of the standings from each season going year in and year out. Things change. That's what I'm expecting here. Now, if you want to listen to or watch any of the 30-1 MLB Countdown previews, they're available on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music. And if you want to hear me flap my yacht mouth on the Pass Ball Show, you can check that out as well on the same formats. Until next time, God bless you. And as always, I'll see you on the other side.